I'm back with another triggering topic. And today I want to talk about the ways that you can recognize a man is abusive and has the potential for catastrophic violence against you or your children, or if maybe he's getting close to you in order to have access to your children. And the reason why I wanted to speak about this topic is because I see far too many Black women and frankly women losing their lives at the hands of men who, in my opinion, had all of the warning signs that they were capable of violence. And also, way too many children being unalived and harmed for choices that are being made on their behalf.
Man who can call you a bitch will kill you. Let me repeat myself. The first sign of a man that could potentially cause you harm or kill you is his fluent use of the word bitch.
And I don't know if you ladies have heard this before, but a man that has strangled you even one time makes you 750% more likely to be unalived by your abuser. Do you hear me when I say that? Those odds are absolutely insane. Now, let's talk about these two things. Now, I know nowadays the word bitch has been popularized and made to be a cool thing and a friendly thing for women to address themselves as. Now, I wasn't raised like that. I never believed in using that word. However, I do know a lot of women use it as a term of endearment. And, women calling themselves bad bees and et cetera, et cetera. And I really do feel like that has desensitized women, or at least desensitized some women to some degree about the psychology of that word and the psychology of a man that uses the B word to describe you, to address you, and him using it towards you when he is upset. It really speaks to a deep-seated hatred and disdain and a lack of respect for you as a woman. And I truly believe that a man that does not respect women, it is extremely easy for him to turn to violence toward that woman or towards women in general. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking of my own personal experience. I had never been called a bitch by a man before marrying my first husband, and he enacted a lot of violence and a lot of abuse towards me that was absolutely incredibly degrading. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but I'll just say that he enacted a lot of violence and a lot of abuse towards me while using that word. And also, I wanted to say this: a man who is more than likely a lot stronger than you, putting his hands around your neck and squeezing and depriving you of oxygen that can potentially end your life, that speaks to a lack of self-control that inside of that man that you should really pay attention to and get away ASAP. Because if a man ever strangles you, that should be a wrap for that relationship immediately. Period. And I mean this when it means applies to any type of relationship. Your boyfriend, your baby daddy, your fiance, your husband, shoot, your brother, your daddy, your son, whoever. If a man strangles you, that should be a wrap. Period. There should be no further contact with that individual. And there are so many women who are in the ground right now because a man that they knew strangled them. And they may have ignored the previous incidents. But I really need y'all to understand this. Strangling is a complete lack of self-control and regulation. And that shows that that man is unhinged and unstable. And let me just say this. I've spoken about this a million times on my channel, but I'm going to say it again because I really believe it to be true. And I still don't feel like enough women say it enough to where I feel like we all know. Looking at a man's eyes before you even think about engaging in any type of relationship with him. Eyes are truly the windows to the soul. And I know a lot of times we look at in this world just things that we can see. We don't think that things are on a spiritual level, but they really are. But I'm not going to preach to y'all. But if a man's eyes look dead and lifeless and without emotion, chances are that he has the capability of unaliving or harming you. And I'm going to show y'all some examples, okay? This man fatally shot his children's mother at their child's 6th birthday party. Look at his eyes. You see them completely dead. Here's another picture of him. No warmth, no emotion, no light, just darkness. Here's another pic of him. Look at it. You see what I'm saying? Please recognize these eyes. It could save your life. Now, let's move forward. This man tried to unalive his 4-month-old child by feeding her gasoline. Look at his eyes, blank, lifeless, without any emotion. Now, this man here raped and unalived a 3-year-old girl and attempted to clean her already passed away body with Clorox wipes to cover his tracks after he brutally raped her and unalived her. Look at his eyes, cold, emotionless, lifeless, completely dead. Now, look at this man who crushed a 11-month-old baby's skull because she interrupted him from his video games. No emotion, lifeless eyes. The police said that he had no remorse at all during his interview and confession. Now look at this man right here. This man tried to hire a hitman to unalive his wife and 6 children. Look at his eyes, cold, calculating, evil. There is a connection to the way all of these men look. I really need y'all to see it. Now, look at this man here. This man killed his Asian wife as soon as she signed a $250,000 insurance policy. You see the eyes? I don't even need to say it. You see it? Now, look at this man right here. This man slit his wife's throat and watched her pass away. The eyes, pure evil. You see it. All of these men are all connected, and you can see the evil, and you can see it right coming through from their souls through their eyes. Just pure evil. And I honestly beg you to look deeper than the things that a man says to you, because anyone can say anything. Use your intuition that you have as a woman and look deeper. Oftentimes, our intuition fails us only because we ignore it, only because we rationalize it away, only because we say, oh, he gives me a weird feeling, but, oh, he's attractive. Oh, he's got money, or, oh, he said this or that. But your intuition has been telling you what you need to know all of the time. You need to look deeper because these men are evil on a spiritual level. And like I said, let me stop. I don't want to get too deep into that. I already said that because I know that there are people who don't believe. So I'm going to just say this. Please look into the eyes of these men, period. Look at it, pay attention to it. If you feel weird, get away, because I don't want anything to happen to any of y'all or any of your children. And then here's another thing. If you meet a man and he's moving very fast, love bombing you, telling you how he's your soulmate, that he needs to be around you. He wants to move in. He doesn't care that you have children, how many children you have. It's not a big deal. He wants to know a lot of your children. He wants to meet your children very soon. He's trying to be around them. He's trying to get to know them. He's trying to befriend them. Please be careful, because that man could be preying on you, but coming close to you so that he can get in a position to harm your children and take advantage of them. Now, I remember back in my day, it was we got to watch these men because they want the little girls. They want the little boys as well, too. So please don't think because you have a son that he is immune to being preyed upon. He is not. There are plenty of young boys and also older men now that have been preyed upon men as well. These degenerate men that have a sick leaning towards children often do not discriminate. So listen to me when I say this. Do not leave a man alone with your children. Do not leave a boyfriend to watch your children. I don't care if you got to go to work. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if you got the biggest doctor's appointment in the world and there's nobody there. I don't care. Because if something happens, whatever appointment or whatever job you had will pale in comparison to you losing your children. Please hear me when I say this. You cannot leave your children alone with unvetted men. You cannot leave your children alone with men you don't know. You barely can leave them alone with the fathers. Because half these articles that I read of men harming children, they're theirs. So think about that. So I just want to say this. If you just met this man and you just started dating him, please, for the love of God, do not leave him unattended with your children. Please don't do it, because a lot of these crime cases that I've read, the very first time a woman has left the man unattended with their child, that man has raped, beaten, or unalived that child. These monsters can't even wait. They pounce on these children like animals. And, I didn't want to deep dive into this. I just wanted to talk about some ways that I don't hear people speak about often that can reveal that a man is a danger to you and also a danger to your children if you have them. Because a lot of times people wrap this all up under the guise of victim blaming, et cetera, et cetera. But there are ways that we can at least try to reduce the risk of living in this crazy world. So I just wanted to say that. And if you guys want a more comprehensive list of what I'm saying or all the different signs that can help you to protect yourself against violent men, then just let me know down in the comments if you want something, more detailed. But, I digress. If you watched this whole video and it was helpful to you, please do me a favor and drop a 6 in the comments. And if you can donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that's no problem at all. Just do your girl a free favor. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on YouTube. And as always, ladies, I really love to hear from y'all. Please drop, your thoughts about this, things that things that you have learned on ways to protect women and children, because at the end of the day, we are Black women. We are all we got. I'm trying to create a sisterhood of information and resources and knowledge that we can all pass down and share to each other to make us be in a better position and to be in a safer position. And so that we can be the best that we can be as Black women. So anyway, like I said, drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.